So, James Gunn is about to destroy everything you ever loved about Superman. Yes, this very James Gunn thinks that fans are just going to go ahead and sit back and cheer while Superman Legacy turns into just another tone deaf Hollywood disaster. Now, James Gunn doesn't even care about, the real Superman, where he just cares about pushing Superman Legacy as another soulless corporate cash grab, basically at this point. And James Gunn's Superman legacy is going to save DC. That's what he thinks. And if you think that, then you're in for one brutal wake up call. So, according to this particular leak or rumor, James Gunn's Superman legacy won't even be about Superman at all, as we all guessed it. It's about the government distrusting superheroes and stuff, where Superman working for the government and Lois Lane writing exposes about superheroes on the government hit list. Does that sound familiar? I mean, it should. I mean, we've seen this boring, played out, government hates superheroes nonsense a dozen times already, and it's getting old, quite frankly. You see, James Gunn's Superman legacy is tired, cynical, and a complete betrayal of what Superman is supposed to be or supposed to stand for. Instead of just a hopeful hero inspiring humanity, we're getting another government sabotage wrapped up in bureaucratic nonsense. This is just basically what it is, and I had a bad feeling about it the whole time. But even worse, the so-called villain of Superman Legacy isn't really a villain at all. It's the engineer, some crazy weird DC character no one outside the most hardcore comic nerd circles has even heard of. Now, James Gunn is pulling the same stunt that Disney pulled with Marvel, pushing weird, unpopular characters nobody asked for while shoving their icons into the background. Wherein Superman, the most recognized superhero in the world, reduced to a sidekick in his own movie in James Gunn's Superman Legacy, just to go ahead and just make room for second-rate characters the average moviegoer couldn't even care less about, let alone know anything about. And of course, we got the Justice League knockoff nonsense where the leak says that, Mr. Terrific, Hawkgirl, Green Lantern, and Metamorpho will all be in Superman Legacy working along Superman because apparently James Gunn doesn't think that Superman can carry his own movie without backup characters, okay, or backup dancers. And they're not even building up these characters first. They're just cramming them all into the same movie like a cluttered Walmart bargain bin of superheroes. It's lazy, it's sloppy, and it also shows James Gunn has absolutely no faith in Superman Legacy standing on its own. Meanwhile, online, the backlash against Superman Legacy is nuclear. You see, fans are actually torching James Gunn left and right, and instead of just taking it seriously, he's brushing them off as trolls. Dad, if you don't like what he's doing to Superman Legacy, you're not a fan with valid concerns. You're just another online troll just to be ignored and stuff. But it's also the same elitist garbage that we've seen from Hollywood for years now. They screw up beloved franchise and characters within the concepts of Superman Legacy, blame the fans, and simply pretend it's your fault for not loving their dumpster fires. Okay. Now, the most insulting part, the leak actually claims that Superman learns to be Superman during Superman Legacy. Superman, the ultimate symbol of morality and strength, has to learn how to be Superman in James Gunn's version. This is not a rookie trying to figure things out. It's Superman, okay? He's supposed to be, the gold standard from the jump. Instead, James Gunn wants to tear him down and build him back up. Translation, break everything people love about Superman Legacy or Superman himself and replace it with his own warped vision, as a lot of us, myself included, have called it before. And don't even get me started on the cringe levels and everything, where the leak hints that it's at a kinder, gentler Superman working with the government while Lois Lane tries to expose secret government operations and so on and so forth. Honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if this is maybe like kind of like the same Superman who was in the latest like the modern day comics and stuff where he's protesting and stuff. He's holding up a sign. So in Superman Legacy, basically he's just a part of the system itself, but somehow also fighting the system. It's incoherent nonsense that's designed to check boxes instead of just simply telling a real story. Superman Legacy isn't supposed to turn Superman into a bureaucrat. He's supposed to stand above all of that, to be a beacon, not a pawn. And worse yet, you see, this particular leak says that, Superman Legacy isn't even really about Superman growing as a hero. It's about simply setting up the DC universe that James Gunn wants to build. That we already knew. So Superman, the greatest hero ever created, is being used as nothing more than simply just a springboard for a bunch of C-list characters in Superman Legacy. And this isn't a Superman movie. It's a 2-hour trailer for the next 10 bad movies that James Gunn has lined up. None of which anybody asked for, okay? And the crazy irony is rich right here. You see, James Gunn spent years blasting corporate meddling in superhero movies. Now he's the king of corporate cookie cutter junk with Superman Legacy. Now, I'm gonna be honest, everything about Superman Legacy screams safe or focus group tested and committee approved. Okay. Now, the same guy who actually pretended to be edgy and different is all of a sudden now pumping out, the same soulless product he used to mock. And you can practically smell the desperation around Superman Legacy right through the screen itself. And I'm gonna tell y'all this though. I talked about this plenty of times before, and for those who listened to me a long time ago, like when I talked about it when he first made the announcement and everything, when there was an announcement that he fired Henry Cavill and everything, when I said I was done, I mean I was done. Now the fans aren't, stupid. They can smell the fake hype around Superman Legacy from just basically a mile away. And when the backlash hits, and it's already hitting, Warner Brothers and James Gunn will have to fall back on the same tired excuses. Blame the toxic fans, blame review bombers, blame everyone except themselves for simply just butchering Superman Legacy and trashing one of the most beloved characters in pop culture history right after making up a bunch of excuses. And guess what? I mean, at this point, they're already, setting up for the excuses for Superman Legacy. Now, James Gunn and his team already started painting critics as trolls months before the movie even drops. That's the tell right there. That's how they expect Superman Legacy to tank. Now, you don't start trashing your audience unless you're already trying to go ahead and cushion the blow for when the box office receipts for Superman Legacy come in and they're a nightmare. Okay. Now, basically, the whole thing just feels like another checklist written by people who have never loved Superman a day in their lives. Now, government intrigue, check. Secondary characters nobody cares about, check. Superman learning to be Superman, check. Setting up a wider universe instead of just simply telling a good story, big fat check. Okay. And honestly, James Gunn's Superman Legacy isn't about, honoring Superman's legacy. It's about using him as a pawn for another half baked cinematic universe that he will crash and burn just like the last one. Okay. But meanwhile, I mean, the people who actually care about Superman Legacy or just Superman in general are watching the slow motion car wreck happen, powerless to stop it. And Superman Legacy should have been easy. Basically, a real Superman movie done right should be a slam dunk. But instead, James Gunn's Superman Legacy is turning into another bloated, cynical, self-important mess that completely misses the point of what made Superman great in the first place. Now, remember, I said this is a rumor so far, okay? And don't give me the whole trust the process garbage about Superman Legacy. We've been burned too many times before. We've trusted the process even with the last Jedi over at Disney. We trusted the process with the Flash. We trusted the process with Aquaman 2, and now they expect us to go ahead and trust the process with Superman Legacy from James Gunn. I mean, every single time Hollywood go ahead and spits in our faces and blames us for not liking the taste. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me three times, well, basically, that's Hollywood in 2025. Okay. Now, James Gunn's Superman legacy is shaping up to be everything that fans feared: tone deaf, pandering, crowded, incoherent, and basically ultimately disposable. And if this leak is even half true, it's not just a disappointment. It's a huge insult, okay? An insult to Superman, to the character of Superman itself, to fans, and to anyone who ever believed in the idea of Superman as a genuine hero and not some sort of confused corporate friendly action figure, okay? Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I mean, Superman Legacy deserves better. You see, fans deserve better as well. And no amount of gaslighting from James Gunn or his defenders is going to go ahead and change that. Now, we see right through the smoke and mirrors around James Gunn and Superman Legacy. We've seen it too many times before. And if they think that the fans are going to line up like sheep to support this train wreck just because they slapped the Superman logo or the so-called Superman logo and the Superman name on it, then they're in for one heck of a rude awakening. So let me know your thoughts with this in the comments below. Feel free to go ahead and smash the like button in this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell for future notifications, and I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, peace.